Welcome to this session on the Level 4 award in preparing for the coaching role. Today, we are going to explore the key principles of coaching, your role and responsibilities, how coaching works in specific contexts, and how to identify and agree client goals. By the end, you should have a clearer understanding of what it means to coach effectively in the workplace. This presentation introduces the essential coaching principles and practices as part of the Level 4 award in preparing for the coaching role. We will explore the roles, skills, and responsibilities of effective coaching and how coaching is applied within specific contexts. Our discussion will cover understanding your own role and responsibilities in coaching, including key skills and ethical standards. We will then explore coaching within specific contexts, focusing on its benefits, impact, and legal considerations. Section 1. Understanding own role and responsibilities in coaching. A widely accepted definition of coaching is unlocking a person's potential to maximize their own performance. It is helping them to learn rather than teaching them. This is one of the most frequently cited definitions in professional coaching literature, highlighting the focus on development, self-discovery, and empowerment. As a coach, the relationship is usually a formal, time-bound contract where the focus is on helping the coachee unlock their own potential. A coach does not need to be a subject matter expert. Instead, they use questioning techniques, reflection, and feedback to enable the individual to find their own solutions. The power dynamic is balanced, as the coachee sets the agenda and the coach facilitates learning rather than directing it. In contrast, a mentor typically draws upon their own expertise and experience in a particular field to guide someone who is less experienced. The arrangement is often less formal and may not involve a contract in the same way as coaching. Here, the power dynamic is more traditional. The mentor is seen as the expert who offers advice, shares knowledge, and provides role modelling, while the mentee learns from his guidance. Coaching primarily supports individuals to unlock their potential and facilitate learning. It is distinct from counselling, which deals with emotional healing and management, which focuses on directing performance and tasks. As a coach, your role is to help others unlock their potential. You're not there to give them the answers or manage their performance directly. Instead, you create the conditions for learning, reflection, and problem solving. Think of yourself as a facilitator of growth rather than a director of actions. Effective coaches demonstrate active listening, empathy, powerful questioning, and the ability to build trust. They foster an environment that encourages reflection, growth, and goal achievement. Coaches must also remain objective, patient, and supportive, while being willing to challenge when necessary. Without trust, the coaching relationship cannot be effective, as the coachee needs to feel safe to reflect openly and take risks in their learning journey. Active listening. For example, a coachee says, "I'm struggling with managing my workload." Instead of jumping in with solutions, the coach could respond with, "I hear that workload is challenging for you. Can you tell me more about which tasks feel most overwhelming right now?" This shows the coach is fully present, reflecting back and encouraging deeper exploration. Empathy. For example, a coachee shares, "I feel really anxious about leading team meetings." The coach could reply with, "It sounds like those meetings bring up a lot of pressure for you. Many people feel the same when stepping into leadership. Let's explore together what might help you feel more confident." This validates the coachee's feelings and shows understanding without judgment. Powerful questioning. An example of this could include, instead of asking yes/no questions like, "Do you enjoy your role?" a coach might ask, What would your ideal working day look like? And how does that compare to your current reality? This encourages reflection, new perspectives, and insight. Building trust. For example, a coach maintains confidentiality, keeps appointments, and follows through on commitments. If a coachee shares something personal, the coach might say, "Thank you for trusting me with that. Everything we discuss here remains confidential, and my role is to support, not judge." Consistency, respect, and transparency help create a safe space where the coachee feels comfortable to open up. Coaching is values driven, and at its core are principles such as respect, integrity, and confidentiality. Respect means valuing the coachee's perspective and treating them as the expert in their own life. For example, if a coachee chooses to set goals that the coach might not personally prioritize, the coach still honors their choices and supports them in pursuing what matters most to them. Integrity is demonstrated through honesty, consistency, and professionalism, such as being clear about the boundaries of coaching, starting and ending sessions on time, and not overstepping into active advice giving or counseling. Confidentiality is central to building trust. If a coachee shares sensitive information about workplace challenges, the coach reassures them that what is discussed remains private, unless there are safeguarding concerns. Equally important is emotional awareness and self-awareness. Coaches must manage their own feelings to remain objective, calm, and supportive, even when difficult topics arise. For instance, if a coachee becomes upset when discussing a career setback, the coach does not rush to fix the situation, but acknowledges the emotion with empathy, giving space for reflection. By modelling positive behaviours, such as patience, resilience, and openness, the coach sets a tone that encourages the coachee to engage in the same way. For example, if a coach remains calm and curious in the face of frustration, the coachee is more likely to adopt reflective problem solving rather than reacting defensively. This balance of values and emotional intelligence ensures that coaching is not just a process, but a safe, ethical, and transformative experience. Setting clear ground rules and boundaries ensures a safe, respectful coaching relationship. This includes confidentiality agreements and defining roles to avoid conflicts of interest. For example, at the start of a coaching program, a coach might agree with the coachee that all conversations remain confidential unless safeguarding concerns arise. They may also clarify that the coachee sets the agenda, while the coach facilitates the process rather than giving direct advice. To create a safe and structured environment, we set clear ground rules: confidentiality, respectful communication, timekeeping, and agreed ways of working. For example, a coach might say, "Each session will last 60 minutes, and I'll give you a 5-minute warning before we wrap up." Respectful communication could be modelled by the coach actively listening without interruption and expecting the same courtesy in return. Boundaries are vital. For instance, if a coachee begins discussing ongoing mental health issues, the coach should gently acknowledge the concern and then signpost them to appropriate professional support, making it clear that coaching is not counselling. Similarly, if the coach is also the coachee's line manager, they would need to establish clear boundaries to avoid a conflict of interest, ensuring that the coaching space remains supportive and non-judgmental. Coaches must adhere to professional codes of conduct, maintaining honesty, fairness, and accountability in their practice to build credibility and trust with clients. This means being transparent about what coaching can and cannot provide, delivering services within their level of competence, and avoiding any misuse of influence. For example, A coach should never exploit a coachee's trust for personal gain, nor allow personal bias to shape the coaching process. Professional coaches work to recognise ethical codes, such as those from the European Mentoring and Coaching Council, known as the EMCC, or the International Coaching Federation, known as the ICF. These frameworks stress confidentiality, non-judgment, and professionalism, ensuring the client feels safe and respected throughout the coaching relationship. For instance, if a coachee reveals sensitive workplace information, the coach protects this confidentiality unless there are legal or safeguarding obligations to disclose. It is also good practice for coaches to seek supervision or peer support to reflect on their practice, maintain objectivity, and ensure continuous professional development. For example, a coach might bring a challenging client scenario, obviously anonymised, to supervision to explore their own reactions, check they are working ethically, and identify areas for growth. This reflective practice not only strengthens the coach's skills, but also reinforces their commitment to high professional standards. Building rapport through active listening, empathy, and consistency helps establish trust. For example, if a coachee says, "I'm worried I won't meet my goals," the coach demonstrates active listening by reflecting back. "You are concerned about achieving your targets. Let's explore what's making that feel challenging." Empathy might be shown when a coachee expresses frustration, with the coach responding, "It sounds like this situation has been really tough for you. Let's look together at what's within your control." Consistency, such as starting and ending sessions on time and following up on agreed actions, reassures the coachee that they are supported in a dependable way. As we have said previously, the foundation of coaching is trust. You build this by being reliable, consistent, and transparent. Clarify expectations early by explaining how the coaching process works and agreeing on goals. For instance, at the first session, a coach might say, "My role is to help you explore options and build your own solutions, not to provide direct answers. How would you like us to approach our sessions together?" Encouraging openness could involve checking in with the coachee. "How are you finding these sessions so far? Is there anything you'd like me to do differently?" Regular feedback in both directions strengthens the partnership, showing respect and valuing the coachee's voice. Ultimately, people engage most when they feel respected, valued, and genuinely heard. One of the key components of successful coaching is providing regular feedback. Imagine you've just completed a project with your coachee. In your next meeting, focus on both their strengths and areas of improvement. For instance, if your coachee delivered a compelling presentation, take a moment to praise their communication skills. This not only reinforces their confidence, but also sets a positive tone for your coaching relationship. Remember, acknowledging success helps motivate individuals. However, it's equally important to address areas that need enhancement, such as the pacing of their delivery or clarity in their message. This balanced feedback creates a supportive environment for growth and improvement. Another method of feedback is utilizing performance reviews and real-time feedback in your coaching practice. One effective strategy is to review specific instances from the recent projects together. This could be as simple as discussing insights from a client meeting or utilizing recorded sessions to analyze their performance. By providing concrete examples, you help your coachee understand their progress visually and practically. Additionally, establishing regular check-ins to discuss development goals keeps your coachee engaged and focused. Encourage open dialogue during these sessions, allowing them to voice their thoughts and questions. Ultimately, fostering a trusting relationship through constructive feedback will empower your coachee to reach their full potential and enhance their overall effectiveness in the workplace. Establishing clear expectations at the beginning of your coaching relationship is critical for both you and your coachee. For instance, when you first meet with your coachee, take the time to outline what you both hope to achieve through the coaching process. Discuss specific goals, timelines, and the skills they wish to develop. By doing this, you create a shared understanding of objectives, which will serve as a roadmap for your sessions together. Make sure to invite their input. This not only fosters ownership, but also aligns their personal aspirations with workplace expectations. Another important aspect of setting clear expectations is to define the roles and responsibilities for both you and your coachee. For example, clarify how often you'll meet and what preparation is needed for each session. It's also helpful to discuss the expected outcomes of each meeting, such as actionable steps they should take following your discussions. By being transparent about these elements, you encourage accountability and participation. Additionally, regularly revisiting these expectations throughout your coaching journey allows for adjustments as needed, ensuring that both you and your coachee remain aligned. Remember, clarity in expectations not only enhances communication, but also builds trust, which is vital for a successful coaching relationship. Section 2. This section explores how coaching benefits individuals and organisations, its impact on development, and the legal and organisational considerations that shape coaching processes. Coaching enhances personal growth, confidence, and performance for individuals, while organisations benefit from improved productivity, employee engagement, and leadership development. Research supports this, highlighting that coaching can lead to significant positive outcomes for both individuals and organisations. For example, a study conducted by the International Coaching Federation found that 80% of those who received coaching reported increased self-confidence, while over 70% experienced improved work performance and relationships. In practical terms, consider the context of the NHS, where coaching supports new managers in building confidence to lead their teams effectively. By investing in coaching, organisations not only empower their employees with essential skills such as performance, motivation, resilience, and leadership skills, but they also cultivate a more engaged and productive workforce. This ultimately results in better patient care and organisational efficiency, illustrating the far-reaching benefits of coaching in a professional setting. Coaching facilitates continuous learning by encouraging self-awareness, reflection, and skill application, which leads to sustained personal and professional development. One of the key benefits of coaching is its emphasis on reflective practice. Through structured conversations and guided questions, coaches help individuals assess their experiences, enabling them to identify not only what went well, but also areas for improvement. This reflection fosters a deeper understanding of one's strengths and weaknesses, which is crucial for growth. Moreover, coaching supports individuals in developing problem-solving skills. By presenting challenging scenarios during coaching sessions, coachees learn to analyse situations critically and devise effective strategies. This not only enhances their decision-making abilities, but also equips them with practical tools that they can apply directly in their work environments. For example, a coachee working in a managerial role may practice conflict resolution techniques during coaching, allowing them to handle team dynamics more effectively. In terms of career progression, coaching serves as a catalyst for identifying strengths and development areas, ultimately paving the way for advancement. According to a study by the Institute of Coaching, individuals who engaged in coaching were 70% more likely to achieve their career goals compared to those who did not have access to such support. By setting clear career objectives, Coachees can work closely with their coach to develop actionable plans that align with their aspirations. In doing so, coaching not only boosts personal confidence but also enhances professional capabilities, leading to increased job satisfaction and career progression. Ultimately, the continuous support and development offered through coaching creates a culture of lifelong learning, benefiting both the individual and organisation as a whole. Coaching must operate within legal frameworks and organisational policies to ensure compliance and uphold ethical standards. One of the primary considerations for coaches is adherence to data protection laws, including the General Data Protection Regulation, known as GDPR. When storing notes or feedback from coaching sessions, coaches must ensure that personal data is managed properly. This includes securing consent from coachees regarding how their information will be recorded, stored, and utilised. It's essential to maintain confidentiality by using secure systems and limiting access to sensitive information, ensuring that coachees feel safe sharing their experiences and challenges without fear of their details being disclosed. In addition to data protection, coaches should be fully aware of organisational policies related to equality, diversity, and inclusion in their practice. Every coaching relationship should respect and promote diversity, creating an inclusive environment where all individuals feel valued and understood. This commitment not only enhances individual coaching experiences, but also aligns with their broader organisational goal of fostering a diverse workplace. Furthermore, safeguarding responsibilities must be central to coaching practices. Coaches should be vigilant and prepared to address any concerns that may arise related to the welfare of their coachees, ensuring that appropriate actions are taken in accordance with organisational policies. Finally, alignment with your organisation's values and objectives is crucial. Coaches should familiarise themselves with these guiding principles and integrate them into their coaching practices to ensure that coaching efforts are reinforcing the desired organisational culture. By aligning coaching outcomes with organisational goals, coaches can facilitate growth and performance improvements that not only benefit the individual but also contribute to the overall mission of the organisation. These considerations create a framework for ethical and responsible coaching, fostering a sustainable development environment for both individuals and organisations. Understanding your coaching role, skills, and ethical responsibilities is vital to effective practice. Recognising coaching's benefits and legal context ensures that it is delivered responsibly and meaningfully within organisations. That concludes the end of the first tutorial for the Level 4 award in preparing for the coaching role. Well done!